Time for the ride home in ENC.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
This is your 5 o'clock drive with Patrick Johnson.
Holy mackerel!
More news, more interviews, more ECU stories than you can shake a stick at. Hey, stop shaking that stick. This is the Patrick Johnson Show.
Pirates win! Pirates win!
On 94.3 The Game.
Hello again, everybody, and welcome. Patrick Johnson saying hello to you on this Get You to the Weekend edition. TGIF Friday, we made it. ECU with the win last night against the Tulsa Golden Hurricane. And we're going to recap that for you. Also talk about some other things involving ECU athletics. Philip, the ref Pilkington, is alongside. And, Pilk, I got to say, offensively, I was very impressed last night, maybe less so defensively. But I was impressed with the way East Carolina played the game last night. I'll tell you this as well. I do think it's very – I understand it, but I'm disappointed in the crowd. I say this firmly as someone that didn't go to the game, nor was I going to go to the game. And I didn't have to go. So I chose not to go. I get that. Now, I get up at 4. What's everybody else's excuse? They don't have one.
Especially the students.
Right. What was that about? I thought this whole Boneyard night of was designed for them. I mean, they didn't even have anybody show up for the DJ. And those modern-day kids who have no taste in music will show up for anybody who claims to be a DJ.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Look, the deal is I'm not 100% sure what time class let out. Usually it's like 3 for those days. At the end of the day, look, man, you got an excuse to watch football on a Thursday night instead of study. But no, you got to go to the bars. The bars are there 365 days a year. We'll call it 363 with Thanksgiving and Christmas, and you can't come out and have one day or 6 days where you stay for a football game. The team was winning the whole game, wire to wire. There's no excuse. The student section nowadays is pathetic. It was actually decent numbers at the beginning. I mean, really, it was over 3/4 full at the beginning, and it was half by halftime. And when the second half started, there was hardly anybody there. Like, come on, this is ridiculous, man. There are plenty of, you live in America where you get to go to college football. You know a few percentage of people actually go to an FBS college football school? You know how many people get to have a home game on ESPN? Not too darn many.
I think the deal we've run into here is, well, there's a couple of things. One, we do not... 3 Thursdays in a row, 2 Thursdays in a 4-week span. Is that at home? I mean,
yeah,
isn't that right? Isn't that
yeah.
what the math? Is that what
That's
the math's
correct.
mathing? At most, you should have 1 Thursday every 2 to 3 seasons. That should be something that is worked out with the American and its TV partners, because 2 Thursday home games in a season, and you don't play in the MAC or CUSA, is absurd. Plus, there's how many teams in the conference that play football, Philip? How many teams
14.
in the American play football?
I think it's 14.
Okay. So you're telling me you have to put one institution on 3 times in your conference TV slate on a Thursday, twice at home. What the frick?
You know why they're doing it? I agree with you. You know why they're doing it?
They're doing it.
Because
I don't care why they're doing it. They don't need to do it twice in a season. That's insanity, and that's going to hurt your. And here's what they're well, ECU always draws. Yeah, you know why ECU always draws? Because they play their games on Saturdays. You dopes.
No, here's what it is.
No. That's not.
I'm wagging on.
What I'm going to say is not what it is. It's the TV people and the league wanting to have something that looks representative. Now, does that crowd look better than anything else that was on weeknights the last couple of weeks with college football? Oh, yeah. But it's just, you got to get off this Thursday night thing. There's two things that, if I were the magic maker of college football, I would never have. Multiple Thursday night games in a single season, / there would be just one Thursday game in a rotation of every 2 or 3 years, whatever it is. Home game.
Yeah.
The second thing, and I would do that among everybody in the conference. The second thing would be this. I would not have East Carolina be playing on the Saturday after Thanksgiving at home. But you got to do that occasionally because of the way that you know what I would actually do. This is kind of getting the matter crossed, and I'm going to drown out whatever point you were going to make, which I already have.
Oh, I can mute your mic.
But what I would do is I would go to Army and Navy, and I'd say, guys, you need to play this as a conference game, and we're going to play it singularly the Saturday after Thanksgiving. Now, you might say, oh, you're going to get washed up and all. No. That will get CBS treatment. That'll get primetime treatment. Have that, instead of having it in its own rant, because eventually these other games are going to encroach and the expanded play. These things are going to encroach eventually. They're not going to have their own weekend. Right now, they're down to that one piece of real estate, and that's it. And eventually, that's going to get encroached upon.
It is, because bowl games already started like 2 days after it last year.
Right. I would work on every other, even if we had to start in week 0, all my other games in the American would be done. Now, that gives you a couple weeks before this championship game, but that's the price of doing business. And that makes better sense to play those two than it does to have home games that nobody shows up for after Thanksgiving in a conference that already has a hard time drawing. What were you going to say?
ESPN wants to get the most eyes on their product when they're going up against the NFL, in which they are on Thursday nights. They're going up against the NFL, and they know the best way to get eyes on their American. Yeah, well, they're getting more eyes on it with ECU home games because half the ECU fan base doesn't live in Greenville, so they sit. But ECU fans are loyal; they'll watch any game. They won't always show up, but the ones who live in Raleigh and Charlotte and Greensboro, Virginia, they'll watch, and that's how they get their most eyes on it, as opposed to it being Charlotte against Tulsa. Nobody's going to watch it. Everyone's going to watch the NFL game if it's Charlotte against Tulsa. But if it's ECU and Tulsa, you've got 150,000 ECU fans spread throughout the Southeast that are 100% going to watch that game over Steelers-Bengals.
You may know this, I don't. Does Amazon share its weekly NFL viewership numbers?
I have no idea.
We know they'll share it when it's Christmas Day and people don't want to be around their families and they'll have millions watch and they'll tout that. We know that. We know Netflix will tout when people watch the Travis mockery that was the Tyson Paul. They'll tout that because that was an event. You know, we don't get the regular daily or weekly numbers from things. And I was talking to somebody who I would consider to be a serious football fan, like follows football at all levels. And they said to me yesterday, you know what, I forget there's a Thursday night NFL game. And I don't like watching it on Amazon because I can't change the channel.
That is big. Not being able to hit the jump button.
A lot of people, and you know what, I will watch a few minutes of that occasionally because I would like to see I wanted to see how the Al Michaels, Herb Street dynamic worked. But you never hear, I mean, what would we say the biggest entertainment venue in the entire world is right now? What is the biggest entertainment venue? The NFL.
Well, I was going to say Champions League soccer.
Okay, but in America, it's the
America's the NFL, yeah.
Okay. Do you ever hear anybody talk about Kurt Herbstreit, who is a name in the industry, being on NFL football games?
No.
Ever. Nobody's watching that Amazon thing. People are watching it. I shouldn't say that. not in the numbers that they think.
Not for what they're paying for it.
Right. And I think college football should do what they need to do to try to gain ground. Because this same person I was talking to, a very good, respected football person who follows it at all levels, and this individual said to me, I liked it when you had one Thursday night college game and it was a legitimate big-time game. ECU played in many of those.
Yep. Look, dude, Enter Sandman on Thursday night, Virginia Tech and, North Carolina.
Why seed the ground? Why seed the territory to the streaming service? Now, in 10 years, 15 years, 25 years, but we'll all be playing and living underwater at that point. So who knows where we'll be. And I guess they were having parent-teacher conferences last night, too, at the different schools in Pitt County.
Including the school, and now this is not the school's fault, this is the county's fault, including the school where the parents had to try and park their cars where there's people tailgating. I'm sure that was a nightmare. Yeah, because Elmhurst had parent-teacher conferences.
Oh, man.
Well, whoever made that decision.
But was that calendar set before this TV calendar was set?
This game got announced that it was going to be a Thursday night game back in like April or May. So it's.
I'd be interested to know. I'd be interested. Well, no, I agree. I agree with you, but it would be interesting to know when the county set its calendar. I'm not ready to kill the calendar yet, or kill them like you are.
No.
I'm not ready to kill the school system like it sounds like you're trying to do. All right, skip the introduction because it's a little. Well, no, we got to play the intro. Play the intro.
All right,
Don't be in a big rush, Pilk. This is a Friday show. I'm in no mood for your hijinks and things today.
I want to show
a staff of 83 people for these other shows, and it's just you and me here on a Bazooka Friday. Don't act like you have.
Hey, Grover just broke in at the end of Igo's show. That was Grover. All right, here we go.
This may very well be our last mission. Let's make it count.
This is the Patrick Johnson Show on 94.3 The Game.
It's impossible.
Now some stories you may have heard.
You ready?
Or catch it for the first time. This is your 5 at 5 with the P-Man.
Number one, Pirates defeat the Tulsa Golden Hurricane 41-27. Coach Harrell, happy with the win, but says there's still a lot to improve on.
It's getting better. I think the penalties are going down. You're going to have some from time to time. I don't like the snap there, Darius. We got a freeze call and he's snapping the ball. Nobody's even close to offsides. We got to clean that one up. That's happened a couple times in a row. So that one's sloppy in my mind. And I think we can be better. Like that, you've scored 40 points. You have 500 yards. I just think we can be a lot better, and we'll keep pushing that way. And we'll get there, and we'll have another opportunity in 16 days.
I almost don't like the idea of the open week here, but I almost think, in a way, it allows you to really kind of recalibrate after kind of the breakneck, high velocity, high emotion pace of the first 4 games, and then whatever the hell this is we just went through for the month of October, where you're not gonna play a Saturday game in 40 days.
Yeah,
40 days. In a sport that is played typically on
Saturday. Now, I'm with you. It is kind of weird, but one thing I want to say about Blake Harrell said right here. Blake Harrell complimented his team, but then he didn't act like it was sunshine and rainbows. And if you go back to 1972 when the Dolphins were undefeated, they beat the Patriots pretty bad middle of the season, 52-3, something like that. And Don Shula came in, told the team he was proud of them, but then he told them everything they did wrong because he was afraid if all he did was praise them, they'd get complacent. You want to be like Don. You want to be Don Shula. You got to act like Don Shula. And Blake Harrell is not afraid to say, "Hey, you know what? These are the things we've got to work on." Blake Harrell's a winner. He showed it last night. He acts like it, and I'm excited. Oh, and now you're rushing me.
No. 2 things that I think are important. They didn't turn the ball over.
Yep.
And I forget the other. The second thing is London Montgomery finally hit the long run.
Yep. 51 yards.
Let's hope that's a precursor of things to come.
Now number 2.
Actually, it would be a harbinger of things to come, not a precursor.
Yeah. All righty. Busy weekend in Pirate Athletics. Volleyball is on the road, but you can see it on ESPN Plus tonight at North Texas at 7:30. They will also play UTSA on Sunday. If you want to see some Pirate Athletics, Sunday soccer at noon, hosting number 6 Memphis inside Johnson Stadium. Remember that admission is free all season long to Pirate Soccer.
Tough run here for volleyball, a sport near and dear to my heart, in Texas this week. Got to come back and host Charlotte on Wednesday, and then they will be at home next Friday. So in an 8-day span, 4 matches, 2 of them are in a different time zone. The other thing, we will have Shane Winkler on in a little bit. Pirate softball has a scrimmage, or are they scrimmages? I guess fall scrimmage, right?
Yeah.
Fall scrimmage at the top of the hour against Chowan. And our guy, Coach Bailey, there at Chowan. And then Duke tomorrow at 2.
Is that here or there?
That's in Greenville.
Wow. Marissa Young packing her team up, driving to Greenville.
There you go. Good for her. All right, so Shane Winkler coming up.
3 good night and good. I guess it was an early morning here on the East Coast for us as the Canes improved to 4-0 with their victory out in Anaheim by a score of 4-1.
Here is what Rod Brindamore had to say about it.
A couple wins in here is huge. They all count the same, right? This time of year, all 82 games, you gotta get off to a good start, which we have. So it's nice to get those points in the bank.
6-game road trip. They are 2-0 on it, and they are also 4-0 and 0.
So they're still your Carolina
Hurricanes. I was going
Hurricanes.
to say, that's the great part. Right now, they're still my Carolina Hurricanes.
4-4-4.
Kurt Signetti, 8 years, $93 million, over $11 million a year to stay at Indiana, which means Penn State has lost out on the Kurt Signetti sweepstakes.
Have they? What's the buyout?
I have no idea. I didn't look that in detail.
So we need to get Kristovich on next week. You know, there's the private equity discussion in the Big Ten in particular. I thought it was just a Penn State discussion. Apparently, it's a conference-wide discussion. Because guess who was having the discussion this week with the private equity group in California? Which 2 institutions do you think were there? 2 Big Ten institutions. Who were they?
Michigan and Ohio State.
No. Michigan and Southern Cal. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
Isn't that interesting who's running the show? We knew Michigan would be there, but the Ohio State is not. And I'll tell you who is. USC. That's very interesting. Both of the boards of trustees of those schools, reportedly, Pilk, have reservations. But I want to find out about what this means for, as you say, private equity entering the fray on this thing.
Yeah.
Because unless Signetti's buyout is the actual dollar for dollar and is close to $100 million, I don't think there's going to be any issues if Penn State wants to get
That's
it.
true.
Now, it's a big college football weekend, right? This is sort of the big, after some doldrums, we're picking, business is about to pick up.
Oh, yeah.
This weekend. What do you think the game of the week is in college football? We like to talk about this. What do you other than Tulsa losing at ECU? What is the game of the week in college football?
I think it's Ole Miss in Georgia.
We're going to find out who's for real or what they're made of.
We are.
The other thing, the Tech and Texas Tech and Arizona State play this weekend.
They do. That's a big one. Texas Tech quarterback out. Arizona's quarterback in.
Arizona State's quarterback.
Or Arizona State, yep.
Right? Yep. That's interesting. 2 that are on your radar, one of them I know is. I'm interested to see what happens tomorrow, Georgia Tech at Duke. I want Duke to win. I'm rooting for Duke to win. I asked a pretty smart person who looks at the trends, well, Duke, because Duke's favored. I said, does Duke win this?
They are.
I said, no, don't bet. If you're betting, don't bet against Georgia Tech.
That's how I feel.
As much as I don't want Georgia Tech to win, I don't think they're losing tomorrow. to Duke. I don't think so, even though Duke's playing well. And then I'm anxious to see what happens tonight when the Tar Heels and the Fightin' Belichicks head out west to take on Cal. Pilk, I rarely want to stay up and watch late-night college football. I'm making an exception possibly tonight. Possibly.
And you'll be sleeping in tomorrow, and that's why you stood me up.
No, I got other. You don't even want to know what the last.
I'm sure I don't want to know. You told me it was bad.
Know what the last 24 hours. I was on my way to an appointment, and I'm 2 minutes from the place, and I get a text that it's been canceled after driving a couple hours.
Oh, okay. I do feel bad for you. Yeah, I'm sorry, man.
Well, thank you. I'm glad you do feel bad for me.
5.
Did you win tonight?
No, they do not.
Okay. All right.
Major League Baseball tonight, 6:08. It's going to be Miller against Guzman, Game 5, ALCS from Seattle. And then the nightcap, can the Dodgers bring out the brooms against the Brew Crew? That game is scheduled for 8:38, and I'm not even seeing the pitching matchup yet.
The short answer to the NL is yes.
I think so.
It probably will happen. I don't think. Worst case, it wraps up this weekend. But
worst case, it wraps up tomorrow night. Yeah.
Yeah. Worst case, it wraps up tonight. Or reality, it wraps up tonight.
Yeah.
Worst case, tomorrow. As for Seattle, this is the most important game in the history of Seattle baseball tonight.
Yep.
If you have any shot to go to the World Series, you have to win tonight, especially after dropping the last two at home.
Yeah. Well, the one perk is, hey, the away teams are undefeated, so maybe, no. But no, I'm with you, Patrick. It is. I'm just trying to be nice to our guy, Steven Igo.
I mean, he's got to be beside himself.
Yeah, I walked in the press box last night when it was 3-1, and he was a little tense.
Just a little kiss for Ace
Little
Frehley,
kiss,
R.I.P.
it is.
Ace.
Yep.
Love Ace Frehley. Supposedly one of the just best people ever, Ace Frehley. Most humble guy. Of course, anybody's humble next to Gene Simmons.
It's
like
true.
comparing Pilk to Henry Hinton. All right. We're coming back. We're going to talk some more ECU football. And we're going to do so with, who we got, Pilk?
Maceo Donald.
Maceo Donald. All right, Maceo Donald. Join us next on the Patrick Johnson Show.
Back to the Patrick Johnson Show on 94.3 The Game.
Welcome back. We got a jam-packed show, so let's get started.
Deep breath. Here we go.
Sports Network joined us. We're talking more about ECU last night with the victory by 14 over Tulsa. Maceo, welcome to the program. I think we talked to you about a year ago on our special coverage when we had the dismissal of Coach Houston, but I don't think we've ever had you on the show here. So it's good to have you on here on a Friday, which I know is busy for you because you're involved in the high school football scene as well. Hey, Maceo, let's just start with your general impressions last night. You know, to me, a couple of things stood out, and I said this at the end of the last segment. The no turnovers, and then I'm hoping what we saw out of London Montgomery, especially with that big 51-yard run, is maybe what we will start to see a little more of from him, because he obviously has that ability.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we've been super pass-centric this season at least, and why not? You have a veteran quarterback and a really explosive offense when it's clicking, and I know we've had some times this year where we haven't been able to get it going and trying to do some different things. But that kind of happens when TJ's there and he's ready to come up, and the other guys kind of get a little bit more, get up and go to him. When there's competition in the room and you have to prove yourself and someone else might be taking your minutes. I think that's kind of what we saw with London last night. He had a big game, I think 125 yards with 16 carries. I think overall it was the second biggest rushing total in the Blake Harrell era since he's been there since about a year ago. So, I mean, it was one of the biggest rushing nights we had. And kind of surprising they still have some dogs over there for Tulsa, at least some pass rushers and a quarterback. So it was really impressive. Hopefully we can keep it going.
You mentioned Caton Hauser, or referenced Caton Hauser there as the veteran quarterback. Great game for him. 300 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, 2 of them through the air, 1 on the ground. You've had a good kind of up-close look at Caton this year. What did he do last night that made him so effective, and how can that be replicated the rest of the way?
Yeah, I think they just gave him some easy throws early in the game. I know he didn't score a touchdown on that first drive, but you kind of look back at the BYU game or even last week at Tulane, where we get really just slow early in the game. Like our losses really is just when we start slow. Even NC State is just we start slow, can't get going, and it takes us a long time to get on track. But I think early in the game yesterday, you just got some easy passes. Tulsa was playing man-to-man, and I don't think that's smart when you have a burner like Anthony Smith, who had a huge game yesterday. And so that kind of played in our favor. But you just saw early in the game just some easy throws, not much necessarily quick, just right across the middle, just something to get them comfortable and get those guys in a rhythm.
Maceo Donald, ECU Sports Network, joining us here on the Patrick Johnson Show. Defensively, any cause for concern? Now, there's a lot of injuries, a lot of guys banged up, particularly on that side of the ball. So, that's the one thing about the open week that, I think will be a good thing is that you get a chance to kind of get healed for the stretch run of the regular season. But defensively, was it because of the personnel, or was it maybe some things that Tulsa found they could have exploited that are concern areas? I mean, you're the expert when it comes to these things. What did you see out there last night defensively?
Well, I think Coach Harrell said it is just you're working in some different guys. I know Reason is out, and he'll probably be out for the rest of the year. He had basically a broken leg that he had in last week's game against Tulane. So that was a quarterback. You saw them have Mike Wright out there, some different guys out there just trying to fill in that gap at DB, just getting those reps. So that was a big thing. And honestly, at least last night, it was, for the most part, it was a pretty good game, but we just kept letting 80 get loose. And Baylor Hayes actually played a really good game, but their tight end was the one who was just getting loose, just some misdirection and some things like that. So most of the times when there's errors or just mistakes like that, it's just your eyes. There's only so many things you can run as an offense. It's most of the time a lot of window dressing and just trickery. So I think that's what we saw last night when we had some slippage. But the defense has been holding it down for the most part of the season, especially our run defense. Hopefully we'll get Xavier McIver back in a couple weeks. He's had a knee injury, so he's been out basically, I think, since the NC State game. So we're going to get him back. Dede Wilson was back last night, who's a really great tackler on that defense and that just second level. So I think a lot of our guys are still back. That DB spot is just where you want to focus on, and guys are going to try to attack. But other than our safety, other than our cornerbacks, our safeties are really good. D-line's really good. We have some good linebackers. So I think they've been holding us down all season. I don't have any other reason why they would for the rest of the year.
So, 40 days without a Saturday home game is obscene. We were just talking about this as well in the last segment. And, I think the league has to step in and say, hey, ESPN, let's not do 2 home games for somebody on a Thursday night. I mean, we're not the MAC or Conference USA for crying out loud. And I mean, the league isn't. But I mean, ECU draws well. Well, part of the reason they draw well is because they play their games when people can go to them. That helps.
Right.
Saturday, they've only been doing it for 100 years with college football, or 100, whatever it is. My point is this: I think this Thursday thing is hitting. Now, look, it's great. Everybody's got the weekend off, but if it's one time, the conference, I think, has got to step in and do something to try and to mitigate not having multiple Thursday night games at home. Maybe go on the road for one of them. But, I mean, just to me, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. Were you telling me today's not Sunday? I'm not going to get to see the Panthers play today? So,
you wouldn't be watching the Panthers anyway, Maceo. Come on, man.
It's
been like this all year. No, I'm a Chiefs fan. I like the Chiefs. And before you say I'm a bandwagon, I have to tell you about my past history. I have to tell you about my past history with the Chiefs. But I think a lot of this, just Thursday games, at least for us, if I had to guess, it would just be that whole marketing and getting us a little bit more exposure. I would only imagine how it would be if we kind of knocked it out of the park with these Thursday games, just gone undefeated. It would have been a lot of eyes on us for 3 straight weeks. One of them has been away. The other ones were home. So that would have been a good chance for us to just kind of talk to people without actually talking to them, with NIL, transfer portal, showing our explosive offense, at least when we're clicking, and they're super explosive offense. One of the leading in the country as far as passing yards and stats like that. So I think that's the biggest part of it. But also, it's like last night, I think it was, they said 4,000 tickets sold. I think that's what the total came out to, something like that. So obviously, it wasn't as big as that BYU game or some of the others where people can come on Saturdays. It's just it's just hard. I mean, even for guys like me who are working the game, it's just hard. You got to work the normal schedule during the day and then come at night. You know, it's just a whole thing. But fans actually did show up last night because I was a little worried to do the pregame show, and they showed up a little late right before game time. But it wasn't a bad showing, but I think it's just all about exposure for us. And, you know, I can understand why that people would think that would work.
All right, I don't want to handcuff you here, but in 30 seconds, tell me your Chiefs background. What is this story?
So
we're tight on
time.
So
Chiefs background, I'm a 5'8", you know, offensive guy just growing up. I used to watch guys who looked like me. So they had a guy named Anthony Thomas. I think around 15, they drafted him from the Oregon Ducks. So he was there. And so I kind of look at guys like that, or like Ryan Swister, Tavon Austin, guys my size that kind of I wanted to be like. And he was there. And then they got Tyreek Hill. And then they actually started getting really good after Alex Smith when Patrick Mahomes stepped in. So that's my background, even though they're like really good now. But always, man, it's fun to just watch greatness in real time. We haven't had the Jordans. We had Brady, but you know, you don't see like the Jordans or some of those old guys. Just super greatness. Something I never see again.
Are you a Swiftie?
I am not. I don't know any of her songs.
All right.
Joey Football's our only Swiftie.
No, I'm not. Yeah. There's a lot of things I am. A Swiftie is not one of them. My 7-year-old niece is. I am not. All right, the great Maceo O'Donnell. Maceo, this was great. We'll get you on again before the season wraps up. Wonderful to have you on, though.
Sir, absolutely. I appreciate you. Thank you.
All right, there he goes, Maceo O'Donnell. That was good, Bill. It was great.
That was fun. I love having Maceo, man.
Yeah, he was fun. Shane Winkler, when we come back, we'll talk Pirates softball. They have a fall game tonight and one on Saturday that's pretty interesting.
And now, the stunning conclusion.
Why is everyone screaming?
On 94.3 The Game.
Wrapping up the show for the week, and we're going to do it with a great guest. My good friend Shane Winkler, ECU softball coach, joins us here. In order to accommodate his interview with us, they moved their game with Chowan back to 6 o'clock, and there was another reason, but I like my version of the story. Junior Bailey is who it is. That's the coach at Chowan. Good old Eastern North Carolina guy, ECU alum, coached at Pitt, Martin, and now with Chowan. But here joining us is Shane Winkler, the Pirate softball coach, as they will play a fall ball game this evening against Chowan, and tomorrow at 2 against Duke inside of the Max. Then wrap things up next weekend with State and UNCW. Here's what Pilk, you know what there's a lot of things I like about Shane Winkler. You know what I like about Shane Winkler in fall ball?
I'm gonna say that from what I've heard and what I've seen, everybody plays in fall ball. He gets everybody in. No, is that what it is? They do.
This is what I like. All gas, no brakes. Winkler's trying to win these games like it's game 7. That's what I love about Shane Winkler.
Hey, big one against Duke. Big one against Duke tomorrow. He beat Duke last year in fall ball.
Yeah, he did. What's up, Shane?
How are we doing, Patrick? Thanks for having me, brother.
Yeah, good to have you on. That's an interesting philosophy. So what is, everybody, I coached to win. We managed to win. But, I mean, you want to win these games, right?
No, absolutely. For us, we look at it as this is an even better opportunity to get to know our team than the preseason games in February. So we will try to give people opportunities, but like I'm not guaranteeing playing time for everyone. We have tons of inter squads that we play where everyone's getting at bats, and you're earning time during that. But I mean, the fall for us is all about teaching and learning, and we got to learn how to win. We want to put ourselves in a position to be an NCAA tournament program. You got to be able to beat teams like Duke to do that. So, I mean, this is an opportunity for us to prepare for the spring. So, if you're potentially a role player in the spring, you're gonna potentially be a role player during this game. And if we get to an opportunity in 10 innings where we can give somebody an at-bat that may not have, then great. But we're going to look at it and play it how we would in a regular game. I mean, it may change. We'll script out our game tonight with Chowan, where everyone will get an opportunity. We'll bat through different lineups, and everyone will play defensively. But with Duke, and then next week with NC State and UNC Wilmington, we play just like the spring. It's an opportunity to compete and win, and not worry about RPI and everything like that. But we're learning how to win.
Pilk, you hear this? This is me applauding the brutal honesty of Shane Winkler. I love it. And he wants to beat State and beat Wilmington and beat Duke. This is why I love it. This is why I love it. This is great. I mean, is that not fantastic, Pilk?
That is. Hey, man, he comes to win. His Broncos have been coming to win the last few weeks. Coach Winkler's riding high.
They scare me a little more than our girls right now.
Well, let's see. You've got Anna Sawyer back, Kenesha Anderson, who's a fantastic outfielder and speedster for you, Gabby Fowler, who I know you want to take big steps and has a potential to be a home run hitter for you, Chloe Geyer, who played a lot near the end of last year, and then Taylor Apple's back for a third year in the circle. I'll get to the transfers in a little bit, but I want to speak about Anna Sawyer because you say, and you've told me Anna Sawyer's taken some real good leaps and bounds in what is going to be her senior season.
Yeah, I'm really proud of her, what she's been from. Like we don't name a captain, but if we had, I mean, she's been our captain. The cool thing with her is our exit meeting at the end of last year, which we had a solid year last year, a good run. We graduated a really big group of seniors. Talking with Anna, I told her when we started our meeting, I said, listen, I'm sure you've been looking forward to this. You've loved ECU your whole life. This is your team now. Because we had some dominant personalities with our senior class last year, so she really couldn't be the leader that she wanted to as a sophomore, junior. But I mean, she spoke up right away. She's like, Coach, you have no idea how much I've been ready for this. So it's been cool to see her take ownership of the program, and having great leadership is huge. Obviously, it starts with our staff, but when you have great leadership within the program with the players, they're the ones who run the team and run the culture. And I'm proud of the culture we've had in the past, but it's better than it's ever been. And that's with a lot of newcomers, and a lot of that goes to a lot of the credit with our upperclassmen. But Anna Sawyer runs the table with that and leads the show.
We're talking to Shane Winkler here on the PJ Show. That's great. Taylor Apple, what are you expecting out of her? Because she really burst on the scene as a first year. I don't even think she struggled last year, but she seemed to get better maybe as the year went on, if I'm recalling correctly. So what are you expecting out of Taylor Apple?
We're expecting her to take another step forward as a junior. I mean, she had really solid numbers within conference last year. Through outstanding in the conference tournament, kept us in position to win going into the semifinals last year. So really proud of the strides that she's made, and she's become more mature, especially in the circle. So expecting her to get better, and I love the complementary pieces that we have around her also. So last year we really relied on two, which when you're not 100% healthy, that beats you up a little bit. I think we've got four that can see a lot of innings, but Taylor has the makeup of being an ace still, and we're looking forward to her, like I said, taking that next step, and hopefully with one or two of our other pitchers that are new, competing to be a conference pitcher of the year type player, because she has that ability.
Shane Winkler with us. Let's talk pitching. Who else is coming back? I know the portal hit you on a couple of things. You had a graduation in there as well. But when you look at what you were able to obtain in the circle from a pitching standpoint through the portal, what do you have coming in? And I guess maybe any freshmen that are coming in that you think might have a chance to contribute in that vein as far as pitching, if any at all.
Yeah, so we've got three new pitchers. We got two transfers that came in, one freshman, and they've all looked outstanding in the fall. We're 4-0 in our first fall games, and I mean, our pitchers have been dominant. We've kind of beat up on the CAA a little bit so far with Campbell, Elon, and Wilmington, and our pitchers really shut those teams down. But a big one that we're looking at, Julia Apostolakos, transfer from USF. She sat out last year, redshirted last year. The kid is dynamic. She throws gas So she's our hardest thrower. And she's kind of been knocking off some rust about sitting out last year. Has really gelled well with Lexi Hanley, our pitching coach. So we're expecting her to do some really big things for us, especially with her velocity and also the ability to change speeds. Abby Hune transferred in from Iowa State. She saw a decent amount of innings from there last year. Really a different look with her, which is nice. So she complements Julia and Taylor really well because she's a down ball kid, can keep kids off balance. And then our freshman, who's I've known her dad since I was an 8th grader in high school. So we're from the same area in Indiana, Sydney Rainford. Have known them forever, and she has looked outstanding as a freshman. I mean, our hitters and all of our inner squads say she's one of the toughest to pick up the ball, locates her spin really well, good velocity, but with her changeup, that she's been our toughest pitcher to hit, and that's with, like I said, a Taylor Apple who's as good as anybody in the conference coming back. We've got a freshman who has really been a bright spot for us. So it's a smaller staff with going with 4 instead of 5 last year, but our number 4 and 5 didn't throw a bunch last year. But I think with those 4, we're as deep and as strong pitching staff wise as any time I've been here. So we're looking forward to our staff being able to keep us in games all year long.
All right, Coach, and you have some other transfers as well, 6 position players. Who are you looking to make an impact on your club here when we fire things up in the spring, but certainly over the next couple of weekends?
Yeah, one big one, Sarah Stone came in. She's one that played 9 games at IU last year and redshirted the rest of the season. But before that, in 24, she was a first-team All Big Ten at IU. So we got a kid in Stone that can rake. We lost a lot of our home run power last year through graduation and one through the portal, but she's going to replace a lot of that. But with her energy, her attitude, her leadership, we brought her in as a first baseman. She started catching for us, and she's been great back there. So we're excited about what she'll do. I think if we started the season right now, she'd be first for us behind the dish. But the way she handles our pitching staff and everything's outstanding. She's a daughter of a coach, so that kind of works well. But she's going to do some big things for us, and then we've got a lot of athletes all around the field. Lillian Martineau came from Georgia Tech. Kid played baseball all the way through high school, travel baseball, high school baseball. So she's kind of like an MK Scott, where those type of movement patterns, but a lefty stick that swings it really well. Haley Dieter transferred from Utah, put up some good numbers there. She's another lefty bat that's going to swing it for us. And then we've got one, kind of a Morgan Johnson clone, a big 6-foot-tall first baseman who came from North Carolina, Aaron Parker, who hits the ball a ton. So very similar to Morgan Johnson, who we had the past 2 years. Came in where we're kind of adjusting some things swing-wise, and I think she's going to take off for us, so she can help replace a lot of that power that we're excited about. And then in the outfield, along with Haley Dieter, we got Alexis Morgan, who's a very similar player to Kenesha Anderson. So we got another table setter type with her speed and athleticism, who's going to do some big things for us. And then Addison Lund came over from Charlotte, another catcher that can play third base. Swings it well, and good attitude, good energy. And another one, when we recruited her, we knew that she could help us out catching wise right away, but being able to add Sarah Stone as well, we feel like we're stacked behind the plate. So we've got a great group of transfers. We're excited about what they bring from the offensive standpoint, obviously along with those pitchers. But I like the fact that we have the ability to stack our lineup a little heavy on the left-hand side, because our conference beats up on right-hand hitters. So we've got the ability to flip the script on some and put up a left-hand heavy lineup and beat up on some of the pitching that struggles against lefties. So we've got a lot more flexibility in what we can do throughout our offense lineup.
It's very exciting to hear. I want to ask you about 3 that we mentioned who were coming back. We talked a little bit about Anna Sawyer, but Anderson, Fowler, and Geyer. What are you expecting out of those 3? Anderson in particular, who's been in the program now a couple years.
Yeah, Anderson's a junior now. She's a center fielder every day last year. Kind of set the table for us. We expect her to do extremely well. She's been through our inner squads and the 4 games that we played, she's, I think, hitting like 571 throughout the fall. I mean, she's been on fire. Some extra base hits, she's swung away a couple times and just miss hitting a couple bombs, which she's not. I don't need her to hit home runs, but her having that threat when the defense starts playing her in as a slapper is big. But she'll set the table for us and cover a ton of ground. Our outfield speed is dynamic with an Alexis Morgan next to her. But then, like Gabby Fowler, I'm so excited about the strides that she's making offensively. Got as much power as anyone that we've had within the program. So I think as a sophomore, she'll take that next big step for us. Chloe Geyer's been fun to watch. She transferred in. She played with Sarah Stone at Indiana. And I think we're getting to see the real Chloe Geyer now. She came in as a transfer, which is tough for so many to do, even though there's so much transferring going on these days in all sports. It's still tough stepping in as the new kid. So I think she was kind of in her shell a little bit throughout most of the year last year until the end of the year when she started performing a little better and feeling more comfortable. But she's a completely different kid where she's outside of her shell, a little more comfortable, and that comfortable feeling and that the confidence has shown. So I think all 3 of those will be huge. And then, like we said, we got a ton through the transfer portal to where we've got the ability with our lineup depth wise to go 1 through 15, 16. So that's kind of what we've been seeing throughout the fall, where we tried some different combinations, see who would step up and who's going to be able to handle 3-4 at bats throughout a game and be able to make adjustments. So we're excited about those 3, but about our entire lineup.
Shane, good luck the next couple of weeks. You go out there and get after them. ECU will be at the Max tonight and tomorrow, 6 p.m., so in just a little bit here. First pitch, and then tomorrow against Duke, 2 o'clock. You might see the plucky upstart named the Great P-Man out there tomorrow because things, if I get back into town, it's just going to depend. Shane, you wouldn't believe what's going on in the last 24 hours.
I bet.
So, all right. Shane, great to have you on, as always, and we'll look forward to talking to you as we get going in the thing. What's happening, Bill? Oh, there we go. All right. Sorry, Shane. I didn't know what the hell was.
All good. All good.
See you, Coach.
Appreciate
Shane
you, brother.
Winkler with us here. Great to talk to him. All right, I'm going to head over to the Percy Daniels Field. Rose and White Oak tonight. It's 7 o'clock kick. 6:50 will be on the air. And we also have other games on our IBX Media family of stations and the IBX Media app. Thanks to Shane Winkler, and also thanks to you, Bill. Thanks to Maceo Donald. We'll see you Monday from Tiebreakers for the Patrick Johnson Show.